Ladies and gentlemen, next up, it's Cal Wilson.
Hello. I've become aware that I need to get my hearing tested because I was watching a basketball documentary the other night with my husband, lucky me, and he pointed at the screen and went, "They look like the courts we walked past." But what I heard him say was, "He looks like he's caught the werewolf bus." I was quite taken aback because he's not normally that articulate. And the thing was, it was a brilliant description because the guy on screen had a beard, right? And so like you, so you've got a tiny little bit of facial hair. I would say that you had caught the werewolf bus but got off after one stop. The guy on screen had stayed on right to the terminus, right? He was fully hairy. And so I start laughing. I punch my husband on the shoulder and go, "He totally looks like he's got the werewolf bus." And he just looks at me and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, he thinks we're having conversations. I'm just hearing a random series of crossword clues. Like, my husband is a lovely man, right? We've been together for 11 years. He reckons we need to spice things up a little bit, right? So he sent me, for the first time, a sext. He sent me a sexy text the other day, which would have been great, except he's got a new phone, and autocorrect changed lick to kick. So I get this text, I read it, I'm like, oh. And then I had to think about it for a minute, and then I replied, "Look, I can see what you're getting at, but I'm going to have to report you to the Cats Protection Society." For those of you that haven't picked it up, what the text actually said was, "Come home quick so I can kick your pussy." Which just gave me this mental image of our cat sitting in the passenger seat going, just drive, please don't go home, please. So he wants to sex things up, right? So I've tried to do that. I've tried to make unsexy things sound sexy. And I'm obsessed by the women who do voiceovers on Channel 10 because they always sound a little bit aroused. You know, they're always like, "Coming up after the break, MasterChef." Like, it doesn't matter what they're talking about. They're just a little bit turned on. They're like, "Is sushi destroying your family?" Or like, they can be imparting terrible news like, "Ebola outbreak, hundreds killed." Like, it doesn't matter what they're saying. They're just so up for it. Like, it doesn't even have to make sense. They can say stuff like, "Man in a bucket, scared by a bee." Like, they sound so up for it. So I have taken that and I try and use that voice around the house with my husband. I just say things to him like, "Would you like coffee for breakfast?" "Someone's stolen our wheelie bin." "Have you given the cat his medication?" We actually do have a cat who's on medication. He's on medication. He's on Prozac for anxiety, which I think is fair enough because he's scared my husband is going to kick him. You've been lovely. I've been Cal Wilson. Good night.